On a frigid night in Tehran, the city's ancient streets seemed to hold their breath, as if the very fabric of history itself had been suspended. For centuries, this city has stood at the crossroads of empires: Persian, Arab, Mongol, and more recently, the modern Islamic Republic. Yet on this night, few could have imagined that the course of the Middle East was about to be so violently and irrevocably altered. Sirens pierced the silence, their wails echoing through the labyrinthine alleys. Shadows danced beneath flickering streetlights, and for a fleeting moment the world seemed to pause, caught between the weight of the past and the uncertainty of what was to come. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader since 1989, a man whose authority was both spiritual and temporal, whose word shaped the destiny of 80 million souls, was no more. His death, the result of a meticulously coordinated U.S.-Israeli airstrike, marked the end of an era. Khamenei's rule, forged in the crucible of the Islamic Revolution, had weathered wars, sanctions and uprisings. For nearly half a century, he was the unyielding pillar of the Islamic Republic, a symbol of resistance to Western influence and a champion of Shia Islam across the region. The news swept across Iran and the wider Middle East like a tidal wave, shattering the illusion of stability. In living rooms, cafes and mosques, people watched in disbelief as the story unfolded on their screens. The shock was palpable, reverberating from the bazaars of Tehran to the corridors of power in Riyadh and Ankara. In the streets, some wept openly, mourning the loss of a leader they revered as the guardian of the revolution. Others, emboldened by years of repression, celebrated quietly online, their joy tempered by the knowledge that the future was uncertain. But all understood. This was a turning point. The old order had been shattered, and nothing would ever be the same. Iran's response was swift and uncompromising. The Revolutionary Guard, forged in the fires of the Iran-Iraq War and loyal to the ideals of the Islamic Republic, mobilized with ferocity. Within mere hours, a barrage of missiles and drones streaked across the night sky, targeting Tel Aviv and U.S. military installations in Iraq. This was not merely retaliation. It was a declaration that Iran, even in mourning, remained a formidable force. The heavens above the Middle East blazed with fire, illuminating the region's ancient cities and modern skylines alike. The echoes of conflict so familiar to this land returned with renewed intensity. Israel and the United States, bound by decades of strategic partnership and mutual security interests, responded with overwhelming force. Airstrikes pounded Iranian military sites and Hezbollah positions in Lebanon, underscoring the interconnectedness of the region's myriad conflicts. The Middle East, long a cauldron of tension and rivalry, now erupted into open conflagration. The fires that raged were not merely physical, they were the flames of old grievances, sectarian divides and unresolved histories. What began as a targeted strike had become a regional crisis, drawing the attention of the entire world. This was no longer a local affair. The fate of nations now hung in the balance. Across the region, Iran's network of allies and proxies, Hamas in Gaza, the Houthi movement in Yemen, Shia militias in Iraq, sprang into action. These groups, products of decades of Iranian strategy, transformed the conflict into a sprawling proxy war, each front a reflection of the region's tangled alliances and enmities. The economic consequences were immediate and severe. Oil tankers burned in the Strait of Hormuz, a vital artery for global energy supplies. As crude prices soared, markets from Beijing to Berlin trembled, a stark reminder of the Middle East's enduring influence on the world economy. In the Gulf, leaders convened emergency summits, their discussions fraught with anxiety. Old rivalries and new alliances were weighed against the backdrop of a rapidly shifting landscape. Who would emerge as friend or foe by dawn was anyone's guess. So, where does this all lead? Permit me, if you will, to offer a considered analysis. In the best-case scenario, frantic diplomacy prevails. International mediators, perhaps under the auspices of the United Nations, broker a fragile ceasefire. The region, battered but not broken, clings to a tenuous peace. Iran, ever resilient, stabilizes under a new leader, perhaps a figure from the clerical establishment or the Revolutionary Guard. For a brief moment, the world breathes a collective sigh of relief, hoping that the worst has been averted. But the spectre of chaos looms large. In the worst-case scenario, Iran descends into internal strife. Factionalism, long suppressed by Khamenei's iron grip, erupts into open conflict. The government teeters, parliament is thrown into disarray, and the very foundations of the Islamic Republic begin to crumble. Proxy wars, already a hallmark of the region, spiral out of control. Militias, emboldened by the power vacuum, wage brutal campaigns for dominance, plunging cities into chaos. Regional powers, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, find themselves inexorably drawn into the maelstrom, each pursuing their own interests, each wary of the consequences of inaction. The global economy, already fragile, buckles under the strain. Markets plummet, trade routes are disrupted, and the spectre of recession haunts capitals from Washington to Tokyo. Yet perhaps the most likely outcome is neither swift peace nor total collapse, but a protracted and bitter shadow war. The Middle East has seen such conflicts before, drawn-out struggles fought in the shadows, marked by covert operations, assassinations, and endless cycles of retaliation. Israel and the United States continue their campaign of targeted strikes, while Iran, master of asymmetric warfare, responds through its network of proxies. The cycle of violence grinds on, with no clear victor in sight. The region becomes a battlefield of attrition, where the true cost is borne by ordinary people. Families uprooted, cities reduced to rubble, and generations marked by loss. One cannot help but reflect on the irony. The death of a single man, however powerful, has unleashed forces far greater than any individual. Khamenei's passing is both an end and a beginning, a catalyst for change, for better or worse. Somewhere in Tehran, a mother mourns her son, lost to the violence that now engulfs her homeland. Her grief is echoed in countless homes across the region, a silent testament to the human cost of geopolitical upheaval. In Tel Aviv, young soldiers steel themselves for the battles ahead, their faces etched with the knowledge that history is being written in real time. Out in the Gulf, oil rigs burn, their flames a stark reminder of the region's centrality to the world's energy and the fragility of global stability. The next chapter for the Middle East remains unwritten. Will it be one of renewed chaos or the fragile birth of a new order? The answer, as ever, lies in the interplay of history, politics, and the indomitable spirit of its people. One thing is certain. The world is watching, acutely aware that the stakes for peace, for prosperity, for the very future of the region have never been higher.